Alright, so you guys, it's a little different on the channel, you guys. So I had this great idea. My sister really helped me come up with it. And my thing is like, okay, so here's what it is. You guys remember to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel, okay? If you haven't done so already. Most of you guys watching this are probably already subscribers though, so what's up? Alright, you guys, so you guys, I love Game of Thrones, and my favorite character in Game of Thrones is CERSEI Lannister. And everybody always wondered why, and they would always be like, why do you like Cersei? When, you know, she's kind of like the person you're supposed to hate. And for me, it's like, I always really sympathized with CERSEI Lannister. And I always kind of felt like, you know, if she didn't need pity, which that's not the kind of woman that wants to be pitied. She just was really misunderstood. And so I really analyzed her with my own gifts, like my own brain, and just understanding her and just comparing her and stuff. I've been analyzing her for years, but I wanted to use the tarot and channel through spirit to understand the character of Cersei Lannister. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan and you're a fanatic like me, or you just love, the only episode of Game of Thrones I didn't see, and I have ADD and I focus so well when I'm watching Game of Thrones, is the last episode, because I just couldn't watch it. Everybody just said it was so bad, and I don't know, watching the last episode is like, it's over. And I know it's over, but I don't know. So you guys, it's just jerk whilst driving on my block. Alright, you guys, so I want to look into Cersei. Like, okay, so what is it about her that makes everybody hate her? But at the same time, what is it about her that we don't fully understand? Okay? So I'm just gonna do a little reading, you guys. There's no pressure. It's really fun. Readings were fun at first. The occult was fun, right? Before it became something that a lot of people feel like they need to tell people how to do. So don't tell me how to do what I'm doing. If you're new here and this video somehow gets across to a lot of people, if you don't know me, you're about to figure out who the fuck I am. So don't start shit with me, okay? You can't even really, because there's no comments. Thank God for that. Thank God for your protection. But also, like, this is fun. Tarot is fun. It used to be fun. The occult, for a lot of us, it started when we were children. The people who were supposed to be here. When we were children, this was fun for us, okay? We did this for fun. We did this for hours and hours and hours on our own for fun with our friends who were also other people who were mystics or occultists. So I'm that way. YouTube did not make an impression on me and change me. So don't come here and try to do that shit with me, because you're going to find out really quick. Okay? So let's get into the reading now. Let's look into Cersei, alright? What is it that we're not understanding? Because for me, it's like, I get Cersei. But what is it that y'all don't understand about Cersei? Let's have a look, right? Alright? A lot of you are, okay. So boom. What is the general consensus? What would Spirit have to say about Cersei as a character? Spirit would say that she was, like most of y'all, complaining about your ex that is not coming back, right? She was heart-stricken. She was hurt. She was alone. She was separate. She was not appreciated. They took her individuality away from her, right? She wanted to be king. She wanted to be the queen of Westeros. She wanted to be the queen of the whole fucking thing. And she wanted to be the king of it. Because she was a woman, they didn't respect her. So Spirit would say, yeah, she was a little bit shut out, but she wasn't that much of a karmic. She was just shut out. She had abandonment wounds. Where was her mother at? We saw Cersei's pops. We never saw Cersei's mom. Why? Thank you. Nobody appreciates or respects Cersei. So when she starts clapping niggas, everybody has something to say. But before that, nobody asked what happened to her that made her bitter as fuck. Okay? That's why a lot of y'all keep getting caught up behind your back and behind the scenes, because a lot of y'all don't care what makes people a certain way, but y'all judge them. So then y'all figure out that there's a certain person who can judge, and the type of person who can judge people is the type of person that has been judged. So then y'all go through judgment. So stop judging people, okay? And for me, and for what Spirit's saying about Cersei, is that she was not understood. A lot of people shut her out. She didn't have support. She was a queen. She was mad rich. All her friends were mad jealous of her. She never had that. She never had a mother. She never had a sister. She just had two brothers. One of them, we all know, the other one, who she couldn't stand. She was all alone in this world. This was a woman who faced her abandonment wounds. So she didn't give a fuck about being alone. She didn't give a fuck about being accepted by others. Okay? And yes, she did buy into lack. She had a lack mentality. Of course she did. She did, but a lot of y'all do. right? I don't know. I just get away about Cersei Lannister. It's kind of how I feel about other people, other characters in history, other mythological characters, as well as people who were in history who people judge a lot. I'm like, well, you don't even fully know their story. Because how did they get away with that? How was God watching that and that went down? It's because maybe some God agreed with what they were doing. Maybe some God knew their story. Maybe you should have asked this person's story. Maybe you should have treated them like a person. Cersei was not treated like a human being. Okay, she was always a prop. And then when she started acting like a fucked up prop, that's when everybody had something to say. But at first, she was just a prop. And then when she started standing up for herself, everybody had something to say. Boom. So what is it about Cersei? Cersei Lannister is a happy person. She was happy. The things that she did to fuck other people over, it made her happy. It made her happy. Okay? And she also probably had an agreement with Spirit. She probably did. But she probably didn't fully embrace it. She didn't embrace her divinity. That's why she had to get fucked over in the end. She didn't embrace it. She was a true queen. Not just a queen of Westeros, but she was a queen of the world. She was one of the goddesses. She never accepted that. She just wanted to be queen of this earth. But it's like, damn, B, they don't respect you. But she was happy destroying stuff because she embraced that part of herself that hated the world because they didn't really appreciate her. She didn't really like niggas, okay? Because she wasn't really appreciated. Her father was Tywin Lannister or whatever his name was, and he was a scumbag. We all know Tywin was a scumbag. He was a celebrated scumbag, but he was still a scumbag, right? So when you grow up with a father that's all about money and all about his trade and his horses and his men, and he doesn't really care about you as a person, and you don't have a mother, let's not forget that Cersei Lannister did not have a mother. So she had a very deep mother wound, a very deep nurture wound that was there. And even if her mother existed, who knows how her mother would have been? Her mother might have been worse than if her mother died. It might have been worse if her mother was alive. So that was her upbringing. That was her rearing. But Spirit, why was she happy fucking niggas up though? Because niggas didn't really get her. Because people would see her and think that her life was better than everybody else's life, but watching her kids get clapped. So how you think that her life is better than everybody else's life, but her kids are getting clapped in front of your face? She's the queen and her kids are getting clapped, right? So how good is her life? How good is her life when you know who she was sleeping with and who she was married to? Her life was not that good. A lot of people put envious energy on her, so she just reflected it back and fucked up the world. And that's what it was. So the truth of the matter is that Cersei Lannister was very happy and had an agreement with Spirit to fuck up the world, okay? And that's why she got away with it a lot in the book, but also we're looking at Cersei Lannister as an attribute in society, as a character in society. This type of person, right? If she existed, if she was real, I'm looking at her like she was real. That's how I am, right? She would have been completely 100% happy doing what she did, and she would have been very misunderstood, very much isolated, very much judged, very much somebody who was overly judged on their physical attributes. So people just only judged her for how she looked, for her ethnicity. They never cared about her as a person. They never cared about who she was inside of herself. They never cared about the effort she would put forth and her true worth and her true value. They only looked at her as this prop, as this human receptacle, you know, that they were trying to make her out to be, and she fought against it. So quiet as this kept, Cersei Lannister is a goddess. So you could say thank you to Cersei Lannister. You get your paycheck every fucking month or every week, because it's because of folks and women like Cersei Lannister that, you know, women have rights. Because she was a woman who was oppressed by a time and period where, you know, women were not celebrated. And also, she was a very isolated woman. This was a woman who was very isolated and probably was very introspective. I mean, there was no TVs, no social media, and this was a woman who was in the ladies' court. So she had a court of women around her. Like, you grow up in a court and you're noble and stuff, it's a different lifestyle than when you're just a peasant and you're normal. You know, there's different things that's required of you as a little girl that other people that's around you even don't have to deal with. So imagine growing up like that and not ever being appreciated for everything that you did. Why would you care about seeing other niggas happy? You're not happy, and they don't care if you're not happy because they think that you have money, so you should just be happy. Right? Right? A lot of people think, oh, just because they have money, they should just be happy. And that's quite as kept. That's why a lot of people don't really have money. Because you're jealous of people who have money. And that's the lesson you haven't learned, my love. You didn't learn that lesson. That's why you're jealous of people who have money. And that's why you don't have it. Okay? So she was happy doing it. What else, Spirit? What do you want to tell me? What else do you want to tell us about Cersei? What else do you want to tell us about Cersei? Because she was a happy person doing this. Okay, so Cersei was a person who saw opportunities, and I'm seeing for somebody who was watching this, if you met Cersei, she would have liked you and you would have liked her. That's something that Spirit wants to get across. There would have been a strong possibility of the two of you guys liking each other. The person or the people who are watching this, if you are watching this, if Cersei Lannister knew you, she would have liked you, you would have liked each other, and it would have been genuine. Cersei Lannister is a very honest person as well. Okay, you would have found her to be very honest and grounded. This person, she probably was an earth sign. She probably was a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, right? She gives me like air sign vibes. There's something very cold about her. But earth signs, if you separate earth signs from nurture and love for long enough, they start to look a lot like Queen of Swords reverse. They really do. And I feel like she just went through a lot. And for what it was is like a lot of people who didn't like her, they had trouble with their own security. They were insecure. They were jealous. Or they were broke. And a lot of y'all watching this are none of those three. So, you know what I mean? So, she wouldn't have problems. Why are you saying this, Spirit? Because you just need to embrace yourself fully. A lot of you guys this here, y'all probably liked her at some points and didn't like her at other points. And the reason why is because you understood her. You probably would have been going through the same thing as her. Y'all probably would have been playmates. Yeah, you probably would have been noble just like her. You probably are from noble blood. You're probably from a noble lineage. Because it's nobles get each other. You know what I mean? Because if you're not noble and you're not from noble blood, you know, then you don't understand. You could take disrespect. You don't understand why niggas are not okay with being disrespected because you're trash. So you're used to being put outside and put aside and thrown in the bin. But when you're noble and that you're not used to that, and you're trying to help other niggas see that they're noble and that they don't need to. In fact, Kendall, I feel like a lot of you guys, if you were around during her time and you knew her, she would have went to you guys. A lot of you guys are psychic. She would have went to you guys for your psychic services. She would have probably guided you guys and given you guys advice to stop fucking with niggas and stop giving them everything that they want and stuff. She would have clarified stuff to you. She would have told you the true intentions of others. She's an honest friend. Cersei Lannister was an honest friend. She was very misunderstood. She was very misunderstood. Alright? A lot of you guys, the stuff that Cersei struggled with, that's what you're struggling with right now. Especially people who disrespect her. That's probably why you're being disrespected right now in that same way. That's probably why people snatching up your kids and you got nothing, you can't do nothing about it to fix it. Somebody snatched up your nigga and you can't do nothing to fix it. You're powerless, rendered powerless, because you have a problem with Cersei. And it's because you're not seeing how her stepping into her power. That's the reason why she went down with the building and she had that big ass nigga fighting her war and fighting her battles up until the very end. He's gouging eyes out behind her because she knew her worth. And because she knew her worth. She knew. And a lot of y'all know your worth. So you know if niggas play with you a certain way and they're in the way of certain things you want, you do the same thing. Click, click, boom. So a lot of y'all, you're probably not having any problems. Or you could be having a little bit of problems. And it's because you're not fully embracing the Cersei within. A lot of you guys, the topic of Cersei came up today because we were discussing her today. The topic of Cersei came up today because Cersei Lannister is actually a guiding light in whatever you're going through right now. Cersei Lannister's energy would actually be beneficial to you. Okay? Understanding her attributes, maybe some emulation as well would benefit you. You know, you don't gotta be full on Red Queen, but you know, just understand that this is what I want and I don't care what I have to do to get it. And that's Cersei. And you know that's what Cersei is. But a lot of niggas just saw Cersei at the end. Y'all didn't see Cersei in the beginning. Y'all didn't see her when they was pushing her aside. Y'all didn't see her when they was making her worried. Y'all didn't see her when they was, y'all didn't see that. Y'all didn't see that. All y'all saw was Cersei blowing up shit and clapping queens from other empires and setting niggas up. That's all y'all saw. But that was Cersei. But that was after they started. But that was after they started playing games with Cersei. That was after they were playing games with her. Then she responded as such. So I feel like Cersei actually, some of you guys, you know what you get into, but you know you're having a new beginning in life, and you could thank the Cersei Lannister energy. You could thank the Cersei Lannister energy for the reason why you're having a new beginning in your life, because it's her energy. She's an archetype. right? She's but she's a facet of an archetype. She's very multifaceted. She's very multifaceted. So she's a facet, and it's 222. Oh my God. She's a facet of an archetype. Okay? And her archetype, yeah, it is a queen archetype, but she's one of the queens. But her facet is a ruthless facet that is actually very pure, and that if you didn't have your mother making you feel guilty for shit, you would actually be that same way too when it came to getting shit that you wanted. So a lot of y'all, her not having her mother was a blessing because it made her who she was. It made her able to carry out the things that she carried out while she was reigning. And y'all could feel like, well, she wasn't supposed to be, but she was the rightful queen of, you know what I'm saying? So she was rightful queen, and she married the king. You know? He was the one who went around and had a bastard baby, but she also had her own bastard babies. But she was loyal to this one nigga who she was sleeping with. So my thing is Cersei Lannister actually for the win. And that's what this reading is looking like. Anything else, Spirit, that you want to bring forth about Cersei Lannister for us today? And Spirit, listen. If Cersei Lannister could guide you to do anything, right? If she could be a guiding light to you in any way, is take action on what you want. Do what the fuck you want to do. Because when it's over and it's clipped and it's click, click, boom, and your time is up, you go wish you Cersei Lannister did. Okay? Anybody who had a problem with her was ungrounded. Anybody who had a problem with Cersei and felt like she was too much, it's because you was ungrounded and you're broke and you're a pauper. And quiet as it's kept, you're the problem anyways. You're the prostitute that's sleeping with her husband and stuff. You're the one. So you don't really, so of course you're gonna have a problem with her because you're trash. But if you're a queen and you know what it's like when niggas get in the way of what you're trying to do with your queendom, like, she didn't have a problem with Mary, Magdalene, none of them, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have a problem with none of them actually. She didn't want to be the most fairest of them all actually. She wanted to be king. And if she wasn't a woman, she probably would have been king. If she wasn't a woman, she would have been king. So a lot of you women who's CEOs and you're sitting at the head of stuff, you could thank Cersei Lannister, her archetype. You could thank her because she was hated by the world so that you could sit in your pretty little cushiony chair today and receive a paycheck. All right, that's another boss ass bitch. And that's the thing, she taught you how to not care about nobody else but yourself. Because she showed you, because her acting that way, she uncovered so many people's, her being that way made it okay for other people to show their true colors. And she was just always true, while these other people were hiding behind the scenes. Cersei Lannister for the win. She's the true queen of Westeros. Alright, you guys. So that's what I have for you guys. Goddamn, I love me. Yup, that's Cersei. And if we were on Vimeo, I would close this out with some music. But we're on YouTube, so you know how that is. I don't think I'm going to extend it for this reading. Because it's not a psychic reading. It's a reading on Cersei Lannister, an archetype of a queen. Who, I guess she is pulling me. So I guess I might extend it. I guess I'll extend it. I'm going to trust in the unknown in this one and go with the extended. And then I'm going to end it off for today. Okay, you guys. So you guys, if you're interested in the extended version of this reading, go ahead and click the extended, the link in the description bar, okay? Much love to you guys. Bye-bye. This is what Cersei Lannister could teach you. Bye-bye.